with Mary Hall's class. She works with the University of Connecticut. Tell me, what do you think about the experience of coming to Colombia and interact with different institutions?
We're so glad that we've had the opportunity to be here in Colombia the last several days. There's so many opportunities and ways that our universities and our various organizations, associations can work together to really enhance technology transfer with ultimately the reason that we're all involved in commercialization of technology because of the great things which are coming out of through our research that are going to really benefit mankind. So we've had many interesting conversations the last several days. I've spoken with about 20 of your organizations, and it's one that at the University of Connecticut we are a public land-grant university. We're located between New York and Boston and have a full service of technologies really focusing a lot of in engineering and medicine. And so those have been a lot of my discussions with various colleagues from Columbia have focused in those areas.
Can you tell me just one specific project in which the University of Connecticut has been successful in transferring technology?
Yes. So, well, if I gave you a smile right now, inside my mouth is a material which was developed at the University of Connecticut. In fact, it's used in about 85 to 90% of all dental fillings. If you ever chip a tooth, that technology that was developed at the UConn, or those materials are used, as I said, about 85-90% of all chipped teeth in the world are filled with that. So that's an example of a technology which has really made a difference in many people's lives, being able to provide kind of a temporary, in my case it's been in my mouth for a long time, a permanent solution for that. So that's an example of some of the good work. Some others that we have done have come from the ability to do a remote sensing of all the cabling that's underneath, used oftentimes in offshore drilling and so forth, to ensure the stability and the reliability of those cables, which are in underground and mostly in underwater situations. So those are a couple of our technologies that have been fun, very, very, very diverse.
From your point of view, from your experience, what is the most difficult? What is the most difficult part to take a research to a solid business?
Well, certainly the most difficult aspect is really identifying, particularly when we're dealing with some technologies, which one is going to have the most and the highest potential for commercialization. So we have some technologies right now that we're working on where we had about probably 8 to 10 different industrial areas where we could take it, and looking at the ones that are going to yield both obviously the most money, but also are probably the most unique and novel. So to find a technology space where not everybody else is in an industry. My colleagues who are researchers may disagree with this, but I'm a researcher who works in marketing, and I always say that finding the market is really the key, because science very much good science happens, but being able to find a commercial outlet or market outlet sometimes becomes the important part of technology commercialization.
Of course. From the different institutions that you have spoken with here in Colombia, which is the project that you have liked most?
Well, actually, I've spoken with a number of different organizations, associations, and I think what's probably going to be best is if we can learn how we can all work together, and so it's not just one institution, but perhaps a consortium of 3 or 4 Colombian institutions with a consortium of several U.S. institutions coming together to work on a project. And the reason is that then too, particularly from the U.S. perspective, we work in many different market spaces and many different areas, so we can bring to Colombian universities the experience of not just one university, but a consortium of groups. So that's, I think, where we're going to end up with a lot of these potential projects will be all of us working together, and through cooperation, we all get more from that process.
Great. So it was a very productive visit to Colombia.
Absolutely. We're so glad we've had the opportunity to be here. And I spoke to a couple of my colleagues this morning where it was quite cold and snowy in Connecticut, and they can't wait to be here. So thank you.
Okay, Mary host Klaus from the University of Connecticut. Thank you very much for accepting this invitation to Colombia.
Well, thank you. I've certainly enjoyed the country of such very beautiful, warm, hospitable people, and we look forward to the opportunity to continuing our collaboration. Thank you.